Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and I wish I had better news for you. I wish we were back in these days here.
Oh shit! Funko Pops are coming! Alright, what I was trying to say before I got rudely interrupted is that Funko Pops are coming. This is super exciting for us. We've been waiting a long time to be able to announce this. So right now I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the 4 characters coming to Funko Pops. The Wraith, the Doctor, the Huntress, and Claudette Morel. If you're like me, you're thrilled and you can't wait to get your hands on those. I can tell you you'll be able to get those before the end of the year.
So that was Matthew's opening introduction to the 6th anniversary video, and not only did we not get the Funko Pops by the end of the year, we're not going to get them at all. So Dead by Daylight put out this tweet here today. We regret to inform you that due to circumstances beyond our control, we previously announced Dead by Daylight Funko Pop partnership will sadly not see the light of day. We realize that many of you were eagerly awaiting the release and that this news may be disappointing, but don't fret. We have plenty more exciting collaborations on the way. So what happened here? And, I know there's a lot of people who are going to go, behavior messed it up again. But this, I assure you, this is solely on the shoulders of Funko. Funko is in financial trouble. I'm I'm a pretty big Funko collector. I have about 3,000 Funko Pops in my collection. And I watch YouTubers who talk about Funko, just the same way that you watch YouTubers who talk about Dead by Daylight. And Funko is in financial dire straits. I watch a channel called the Gasselcast, which has done like a 6-part series about what's going on at Funko, alleging that Funko has been bleeding money, negative cash flow for a year now, since the first quarter of last year. And, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there is some legitimacy to this. So see if you can determine the date that Funko announced that they would not be profitable in the 4th quarter of 2022. Can you tell by that graph when they might have made that announcement? The 4th quarter for any kind of collectible/toy company should be busting with sales and profits for the holiday season. And they just came right out and said, we're not going to make any money. They have overproduced product. My local dollar store has over 20 different Funko Pops available. If you've gone into your local Five Below recently, you've seen pallets of Funko Pops on clearance there. Generally, any clear out, closeout store, Burlington Coat Factory, those kind of places that get discounted items is carrying Funko Pops now. They just aren't selling the way that they were. They expanded during the pandemic. And then once things got to normal, they weren't seeing the kind of busting sales that they were during 2020. And like I said, the Gasselcast has done a lot of videos on this in a 6-part where they have fired some of their top artists and designers, creative heads like Reese O'Brien. They have been scaling back on figures that require metallic paint in favor of what they call the macaroni and cheese paint for gold armor instead, for cost-cutting measures. There's talks that they have fired so much of the art team that they are going to outsource models overseas. Lots of different things happening at Funko. And here's my own rant back at Funko, and I truly believe this, that it's their loss, that they have changed as a company once they went public and they had all of this corporate pressure on them to do things to make money instead of make fans happy, putting money first, that they decided that 24 Grogu Funko Pops isn't enough. They're going to keep making those, and Spider-Man No Way Home is still coming out, even though the movie was long gone. More Spider-Man, more Grogu, more things that they are convinced are sure sellers. And anime, don't forget anime! Anime, things that they are confident will sell. They have lost their cojones as a company to take chances and make things for other fandoms. They used to be this company that said everybody is a fan of something, and they were willing to take chances on niche fandoms for fans, and not anymore. That's all gone by the wayside. It doesn't help that they also had to pay a $7 million lawsuit when Chief Executive Officer Brian Mariotti sold $10 million of stock, having allegedly withheld information that would have negatively reflected the price of the stock, and then he sold $10 million worth. 6 weeks later, once that information came out, that stock that he sold for 10 million was worth 4 million, and they were sued, and they settled for $7 million. So, you know, things are going on, allegedly. Things are going on with Funko that are very negative. In my opinion, the company is in trouble. I mean, if you're working negative cash flow for an entire year and you can't make a profit during the holiday season, those are some bad signs. Now, the thing that really hurts me is how close we got, because I had somebody slip me an image from a website where the pop retailer got a heads up on what figures were going to be announced at Funko Fair across 3 different Wednesdays in January with all of the lines, and boom, right there in the first position is Dead by Daylight. So we were that close. You can't tell me that they didn't get to the prototype stage and they just pump the brakes on mass producing and filling the molds because they're scared. Funko is running scared. They're in financial trouble and they don't want to take a chance. And like, look, you see how many people are looking at this tweet? Like, this is a busting tweet here with almost 400,000 views. You can't tell me there aren't fans who would buy the product. And Funko's just too scared to do it. Just too scared to do it. I mean, the Dead by Daylight had a hard time getting to the table with them in the first place for several years. These should have been made years ago, if you ask me. I firmly believe that if they would have made these, they would have been shocked at how many they would have sold. Because I know that you, the fans of Dead by Daylight out there, would appreciate a small, entry-level, inexpensive collectible surrounding Dead by Daylight. Not everybody can afford a $120 statue or a $360 statue. This is a perfect price point. Of course, you know, there are people who would say, oh, I'd rather have a NECA figure or something like that for more money. But I always viewed Funko as an entry point into opening those doorways and expanding the brand and getting figures made that would suit everybody, from the $10 Funko Pop to the $40 NECA figure to the $360 statue collector. That Funko was going to open other doorways if they'd gone through with this deal, but they just don't have the guts. They just don't have the guts. It's true. It's true. It's true. They just want proven winners. They just want to rehash the same figure, the same characters over and over again, because they're sure that's what will sell. You know, it's not something that we don't see in other industries as well. Like movie companies, they're afraid to make brand new IPs. They want to stick to sequels and reboots and things that are familiar, because they have confidence that those are the movies that people will go see. So it's no different here in the collectible Funko Pop area. They just have lost their gumption. I mean, Brian Mariotti, he got all of his Hanna-Barbera figures that he wanted when he was a kid, so he's happy. He doesn't care about fans anymore and what they want for their niche fandoms. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. He sold $45 million worth of stock. He's just happy to just rest on his pile of money off of Spider-Mans and Grogu's and Captain America's and whatnot like that, you know? It's sad to say, but it's true. It's true. Prove me wrong, Brian Mariotti. Prove me wrong. I dare you. I dare you to prove me wrong and put the deal back on the table with Dead by Daylight. You won't do it. I know you won't. So what's next? I guess U2s would be the next player in the space to get a vinyl figure made of Dead by Daylight characters. They're a little pricier than Funkos, which is why I always, you know, I appreciate U2s. I have a few, but the price point of Funkos is what makes it affordable for me to amass the vast collection that I have. I could never have that many U2s figures, but I wouldn't be against seeing U2s make some Dead by Daylight figures. I would welcome it. I've been waiting this long for some Funko Pops. I'll take anything at this point. I just want to break into the behavior offices and go get me a prototype, because I know those prototypes are made. When you see that they're this close to announcing it at Funko Fair, like they maybe even have not only solid colored prototypes, they might have painted samples, in-box samples. It wouldn't shock me if Dead by Daylight had their hands on stuff that was late stage, ready for production. I don't know how the Dead by Daylight could be on the Funko Fair announcement flyer without it being that close, you know what I mean? So, you know, barring some outcry of public opinion where we fans can convince Funko that they're making a huge mistake by not making these figures, I guess our hopes lie with the likes of U2s or other brands to see what can become of our partnership here, partnership opportunities. It is encouraging to see. Don't fret, we have plenty more exciting collaborations on the way, so I'm hoping that that means that it's in the same space as toys and collectibles. I can't wait to see what they are. But it looks like Funko Pops, that ship has sailed. Barring some kind of notice from Funko going, whoa, there's a lot of traction on this cancellation tweet. Maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we should reconsider. It's so strange to me when you see that Hot Topic is carrying Dead by Daylight t-shirts and hoodies in their stores, that they wouldn't be a perfect partner to do exclusives with as a retailer of Dead by Daylight Funko Pops. They already carry the brand in the store, for crying out loud. So I don't know what happened, but I'm convinced that it is based on Funko's financials. I'll link the Gasselcast, the part 1, and you can go see how far you want to go down the rabbit hole about the 6 parts of the Gasselcast series about what's going on behind the scenes at Funko and how much trouble they're in. That, you know, it makes sense that they're running scared and they're not willing to take a chance on what they consider to be an unknown brand of Dead by Daylight going forward. It's a shame, really, but, you know, what can we do? What can we do? It's a sad day. My phone blew up today, and, you know, so many people telling me, I'm so sorry for your loss, that this isn't happening, and I'm upset about it, too. But, you know, there's no sense getting upset about things I can't control. So it is what it is. I'm a huge Funko collector. As I said, I got 3,000 pieces in my collection. I would have been buying cases of these, not just one of each, cases of each pop coming out, just because, you know, I am obviously connected to Dead by Daylight as one of their influencer partners, as a fog whisperer. So I would have been spending a lot of money. My wife is honestly probably kicking her heels overjoyed at the amount of money we are saving, because Funko isn't going to make Dead by Daylight Funko Pops. But, you know, I'm genuinely upset. They would have been some of my favorite Funko Pops in my collection, and that's saying something for the size of my collection, just because of how ingrained Dead by Daylight is in my life, how much those Pops would have meant to me. But it's not to be. So move on from here, onward and upward. It's Funko's loss. I really believe if they just would have taken one chance and put out one wave, that we would have been there. We would have shown up as a community and bought them and put their head on a swivel, and they would have thought, why weren't we making these years ago? And they would have been like, well, what can we do for wave 2? Give us some more ideas. That we would have shocked the world, the Funko world, in the executive office about how many we were going to buy. But, you know, they're not willing to pull the trigger, so their loss. What can we do? We move on. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Sorry to bring you this sad news. I know that some of you are like, I hate Funkos anyway. Screw that. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate the time you spend here with me on my channel, as always. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.